All right. Hello, thank you for joining me today to learn about brucellosis. Just going to talk about what brucellosis is and give a little more insight into how it's spread and what communities are affected. Let me start at my beginning here. All right, so I'll cover these core concepts, what brucellosis is, some causes and symptoms, and how to protect yourself, and what communities are most exposed to brucellosis. Let me adjust my camera here a little bit. There we go. So, brucellosis is caused by Brucella bacteria, mainly affects livestock, but it is highly zoonotic. So, and while it is rare for it to spread from people to people, very easily spreads from animals to people. The way that it works is it exploits the immune system, so you can end up feeling and you can be infected multiple times. You'll think that you'll start to get better, and then all of a sudden you feel the symptoms again. Oh, and it's treated by antibiotic regimen, 6 to 8 weeks. Causes. So our main cause is going to be eating raw dairy products or raw food. You want to pasteurize your milk. You want to cook your food to kill off the bacteria. Touching blood and body fluids from infected animals is also a great way for it to transmit. Symptoms are very similar to that of a cold. So the flu, if you think that you are sick, you may assume that it's the flu, but it's really important to test for this if you're working around animals a lot. Our most susceptible communities are going to be people who work around animals. So we have our veterinarians, our dairy farmers and ranchers, our hunters, our slaughterhouse workers, microbiologists, really anyone who's working with animal body fluids, who cleans carcasses, and then microbiologists because they're working around animal body fluids in their labs. They are, around bacteria a lot when they're working with brucellosis. So where can you get tested? If you go to your doctor, they can find where you can get tested for brucellosis. Either a clinical laboratory or the state health department. They perform a blood and a bone marrow test, and they look for the antibodies for this bacteria. So the infectious window, because like I mentioned earlier, this is something that reinfects over time. So the range is quite wide. We have a lot of variation. Normally it's between 2 to 4 weeks, but like I said, you start to feel better. You think you're getting over this, and then all of a sudden, boom, you feel like crap again. And that is a cycle that can happen for many, many times before it goes away when you treat it with antibiotics. It's important to the community because it can lead to significant economic loss, right? We have something that is affecting animals. It can affect herds. It can affect our food animals, our farm animals. And if they get infected and they die, that's a big economic loss. It's also easily transmitted between humans and animals, and that's very important to our community because we work with animals so often. So, like I mentioned earlier, cook your meats. I included some temperatures you should cook your meats to. Don't only consume pasteurized milk. Cook your milk. You want to kill off that bacteria. And then be sure to follow your safety measures and guidelines and wear your proper PPE, your mask, gloves, a gown if necessary. So, conclusion, it's a new zoonotic disease caused by bacteria. It mostly affects people who work around animals or animal products, and you should stay safe by taking proper precautions and following the guidelines. These are just some resources that I used to make my presentation. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you learned something new about brucellosis.